know what communications links it really wants, or it has to come up with a much better way of processing the information it collects. And how well they're doing that is something that's very hard to say from the outside.
We're behind the curve in keeping up with the global telecommunications revolution. Yes, we are. And that's the challenge we have.
The spy network was conceived, after all, as a response to a far different kind of war.
In a previous world order, our primary adversary was the Soviet Union, an oligarchic, slow-moving nation-state. Our adversary communications are now based upon the developmental cycle of a global industry that is literally moving at the speed of light. Cell phones, encryption, fiber optic communications, digital communications, it goes on and on. Just think of all the ways that you and your viewers communicate. Okay? Those are all available to people who would do harm to the United States of America.
In fact, it has been relatively easy for Al-Qaeda to avoid detection.
Osama bin Laden has at his disposal the wealth of a $3 trillion a year telecommunications industry that he can rely on.
In addition to trying to monitor the trillions of bits of information on the internet, the NSA has had to cope with the challenge of fiber optic cable.
That is much more difficult for NSA to intercept because they have to, first of all, get access to the cables, either under the ocean or under the ground, and then they have to develop ways to extract the communications from them. They are able to do it. They found ways to do it, but it is far more complicated and far less efficient.
It's known that the U.S. is remodeling or building a submarine whose mission would be to tap fiber optic cables, but that hasn't been actually commissioned or launched yet.
Dealing with more sophisticated forms of encryption is also clogging up the spy system.
Very good encryption is available out there for anyone willing to purchase it. And so we run into that.
They could probably break a lot of this encryption, but it takes a lot of time. It's very time-consuming. It's very manpower-intensive, so it's very difficult.
The NSA and its English-speaking partners have just begun to address those problems.
Since the 2001 computer crash, NSA has spent billions of dollars in the last 2 years to repair its tattered infrastructure. It's purchased new computer systems, new software. It's hired thousands of new personnel in an effort to make sure that this sort of crash will never happen again.
As the world tries to fight the war on terror, the effort to update the NSA has become even more critical. While signals intelligence is not infallible, it is a crucial first line of defense against another terrorist attack like 9/11.
While the European Parliament downplayed concerns about economic spying, it did issue a warning about Echelon and its threat to civil liberties. The report urged European governments to protect their citizens by ensuring that private phone calls and correspondence remain confidential. The report was approved on September 5th, 2001, just 6 days before the terrorist attacks of 9/11. Since then, privacy has taken a backseat to security, and intelligence gathering tools like Echelon have been on the front lines of a new kind of war. For the History Channel, I'm Arthur Kent. Thanks for watching.
Next on History's Mystery Saturday, when a nuclear bomb explodes,